Hello everyone, it's me, Sergey Lemesov, a professional brand and marketing strategist. In this series of videos, I show my example of how I develop my brand. In previous videos, I talked about competitive analysis and the development of a brand platform. In this video, I will show the process of creating marketing plan, which helped me to determine marketing goals and brand objectives, create a plan of action to promote my brand, understand what brand attributes I need to develop, visual identity elements, music jingles, etc. And the last one, determine metrics to understand the effectiveness of my actions. Frequently, businesses and people skip the marketing plan development stage. They start to develop a visual identity after developing a brand platform. And only after that, they create a marketing plan. Then they realize that the developed elements of visual identity are not relevant. They understand that they have to order and develop new features. They have to spend extra money and time. But my approach is based on providing for everything in advance. The approach helps to avoid wasting time and money. And most importantly, how can you do anything without understanding your goals? So what I need to understand to develop a marketing plan. First, marketing and brand goals. The second, a list of channels relevant to achieving my goals. So let's start with goals. I have two main goals. The first goal is a long-term ambition to become a well-known and globally recognized branding professional. By branding, I mean the strategic part, like developing brand strategies based on target audience research, and the aesthetic part. What do I mean by working with the aesthetic part? I don't want to work only with visual identity because it only affects the eyesight. I want to work with all human senses like sight, hearing, touch, smell, and taste, and create a better human experience and better branding that touches all human senses. This is a big goal that will likely be spread out over an entire lifetime. And I've decided that the process of achieving it will be divided into two big tasks, and they both can go hand in hand. So task number one is to systematize all the brand strategy knowledge that I have. I believe I need to take some serious training programs. And maybe I could go with a C-level brand education program that I picked up from Asham Modi during the competitive analysis phase. So guys, if you know any detailed program of brand development and promotion from the coolest experts, please share the links in the comments. I would appreciate that. The second challenge is to understand the different types of branding. I'm currently studying visual identity and art direction, and when I have time, I will move on to learn other types of branding. So what do I need to do to achieve my long-term goal of becoming a well-known and globally recognized branding professional? The first one is to broadcast my growth process, like show what I'm doing now, where I'm moving, and share insight. The second, to work and show my cases, again, to share them with the professional community. The third one, broadcast my mission, my vision, and my values. The question is, how can I be sure that I'm moving toward my goal? First, I'm being quoted in more and more media. Second, I'm increasingly invited to speak at events, podcasts, etc. The third one, the number of subscriptions to social networks is growing, my coverage is increasing. The fourth one, the cost of my services as a consultant is growing. And the last one, I'm getting better at designing the experience of interacting with a brand, taking into account all of a person's senses. These are the metrics I'll focus on to understand my progress toward my long-term goal. My second goal is a short-term ambition. I have a plan to realize it in the next 6 months. It's to get a job offer with relocation and prospects of citizenship in North America, Europe or Australia. The first thing I need to do to start moving towards my long-term and short-term goals is to appear in the international informational field physically. I need to place some information about myself in relevant communication channels. What are the main channels for the promotion that I consider suitable in my case? The first is a website. It seems that every professional in any field should have it. Mainly a specialist in marketing and branding. My website should demonstrate how good I am at branding for employers and clients. If my brand presented on the website is clear, interesting, and visually aesthetically pleasing, it will mean that I can replicate the same quality for my future employers' brands or my international clients. The second communication channel is LinkedIn. With this network, I plan to make myself available to HRs, CMOs, and CEOs, and for those who are looking for relevant employees. I also plan to find these companies myself and connect directly with the people making hiring decisions. Since I understand the human brain's decision-making process, I don't believe in the trivial mailing of resumes. The brain makes emotional decisions, which it then rationalizes. Therefore, my goal is to evoke the most positive emotions from people with values and worldviews close to mine through a strong personal brand. The good positioning of the brand allows me to cut off companies and people with whom I do not want to work. And conversely, using emotional incentives will show the right people that I'm the right person for them. The third channel is YouTube. Oh yes, I love making and watching videos. In terms of visual communication effectiveness, it's one of the most effective tools. When we use text and pictures, we only engage one sense, sight. But in the video, we use eyesight and hearing. Moreover, I'm a proponent of immersing myself deeply in any topic, and video allows me to cover an issue most fully. And on LinkedIn, I'm also going to focus on the video format. The next channel is Instagram. This is a visual social network where I will be able to boost my aesthetic and creative potential. Here I will emphasize more on the process, showing my daily activities, and there will be more work in the area of visual identity and less in the area of brand strategy. The next channel is Twitter. I will post short notes and inform my audience about new video releases and new cases. And I also can use Behance. There I'll post my visual identity work. Through Pinterest, I plan to broadcast my aesthetic taste. And as for Facebook, I don't plan to emphasize this social media. I think it's more for some personal content than a professional. And I also don't plan to use TikTok yet because my content is hard to fit into short videos. At the very beginning of my journey, I will put all my energy into developing the website, as well as creating content for LinkedIn and YouTube. As far as possible, I'll promote the other social networks I mentioned. So, I've already talked about the metrics for achieving my long-term goals. And now let's write down the metrics for my short-term goal of getting a job offer with relocation. Most of my metrics are very closely related to LinkedIn. First is a number of LinkedIn profile views. The second is a number of new connections with representatives of companies I'm interested in. The third one is numbers of interview invitations. And finally, the number and quality of job offers. As for YouTube and Instagram, the metrics are simple. The number of subscribers, likes and reposts, and the number of potential clients or invitations to the interview. Now, let's turn our discussion into a concrete list of actions. Marketing is about product development and promotion. That is why I prefer to separate the marketing plan into these two areas. The product section of the plan will answer the question, without which my brand will not exist at all. What elements are necessary for my product or brand to exist? In my case, it's the visual identity and the website. The first step is to create a clear and logical hierarchy of messages. Then the structure of the site. And it all has to be based on my brand platform. In my next video, I will tell how to make a hierarchy of messages and be understandable to your target audience. So subscribe to my YouTube channel and my social media channels so you won't miss this video. So far, I'm not starting to develop a visual identity. First of all, I want to create a hierarchy of messages and set the accents in my communication. I want to set up my brand story to help my target audience to understand my brand. And this will help me test my brand platform, take a hard look at myself and develop or change something. When I finish this stage, I can develop a visual idea that will be relevant to my brand. On this basis, I can build a visual and sound identity. The developed site structure will help me create a prototype. This will be a graphic layout with a schematic arrangement of the main blocks on each page of the site. Now, let's move on to the promotion. I have identified a list of channels that are relevant to my goals and my target audience. And I want to use them effectively, so it's necessary, first, to align visually my social channels with my brand platform. And the second, to have logical and consistent content creation and development. To make my brand more visually consistent across all communication, I need to define a list of all the necessary graphic materials. Social media covers, post design, avatars and many others. And make all of these materials in the same design. Let's go over everything in general that we need to design. Website, photos or illustrations, depending on the visual idea development. LinkedIn, avatar photo, cover art and possible post designs. YouTube, photo avatar, cover art, branded animated title screen for video, branded recognizable sound jingle for the title screen, and branded breakout slides and presentation slides to showcase text and visual content. Instagram, avatar photo, possible options for the design of posts and stories, cover art for the post and the profile, and Linktree design. It's the integrated launchpad for Instagram. Twitter, we need avatar photo and cover, Behance, avatar picture, and banner image. And finally, Pinterest, we need avatar photo. So guys, we clarified the first step for effective promotion channels. We have a basic idea of what we need at the beginning of the visuals. If I need anything else, I'll develop it. One of the successful attributes of visual identity is how easily it can adapt to new graphic materials. If there are good principles based on the design system, there should be no problems with its implementation in the future. The second step for effective promotion is to follow the content plan, the regular publication of content. Following my values, I decided to make the brand development process open. And I've already published posts despite the absence of any visual content. And of course, I already have a content plan. Without it, my videos and posts wouldn't appear. At the moment, my content plan looks like this. It consists of 2 blocks: preparing a video process of developing a personal brand and making a video case studies. It doesn't tied to deadlines because I make videos when I have time. And I don't think that there is any universal rule on the number of posts per week. I don't recommend creating content under stress because you don't have time for something where you don't just publish enough posts a week. We are all working professionals, and we have to realize that in addition to promoting our brand, we have our daily work tasks. I think that the key is regularity, so that your audience gets used to your schedule for publishing your content. So choose a comfortable pace for yourself. For example, I publish content 1 to 2 times a week. Someone will say that's not enough, but it fits my current realities. I publish very detailed content that takes a lot of time to prepare, and I combine that with work on my projects and with my family activities. Friends, I won't go into detail about how to develop a content plan for social media. I don't consider it my profile, and I think social media professionals will give you more information on this subject. The only thing I will say is this: content should also be based on your brand platform. It has to be unique. Don't look at what others are publishing. Look at who you are and what you want to communicate to those around you. So, in general, my plan of action looks like this. I am a supporter of keeping any plans as simple as possible and a supporter of improvisation. And I prefer to do one-slide plans in as large strokes as possible, while adapting them each day depending on the context. Again, I take an agile approach and try to move in small but context-appropriate steps. So if this video was useful for you, please like it. This way you will help me achieve my short and long-term goals. In the following video, I'll use my example to show how to make a clear hierarchy of your brand messages and how to make a logical and simple site structure. If you are interested in the topic of personal brand development and promotion, as well as branding in general, subscribe to my YouTube channel and my social media for up-to-date practical information from this area. See you soon!